And welcome in, my friend. It's been a while since we've had a league game, and I know we've had Football League Trophy success into a semi-final game against Peterborough coming up. Yes, the 4-1 win over Port Vale, and recently the 1-0 win at home in a very tough game against Bolton that could have gone either way, and Andy Cannon was the hero of the day. You're going to see that goal again, or you just saw it, but you're going to see it again before the end of this show. You can see more highlights too, but Andy Cannon, impact player, yeah? Head-to-head story on the Northampton-Wrexham, that's coming as well. Yes, Northampton fans, cobblers, there's stuff here for you too. Stats from the last match against us and you, that's Wrexham and Northampton Town. Highlights from that game too. It wasn't really... There was a lot to see, but it wasn't a great day for Northampton. We're going to talk about the League One matches as well and a top six focus. And don't forget, or if you didn't know, there's games coming Tuesday too. So get a load of that one. Also, match prediction, what I'm seeing coming down, not to piss people off, just to have a little fun, but to tell you really what I'm seeing. And all season long, I'll tell you what, you are my witness. I've been pretty damn good on the match predictions all season long. You would have made money if you'd have followed what I said all season long. And then I'm going to finish with the last 16 games. It's 2 groups of 8. This is for the Wrexham. There's 2 groups of 8 games. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking when we get there, but there's a real essence to it. You'd be wise to stick around to take that in. And also to finish, my big yapper and what I see coming down the road. So let's take a look at that impact player from midweek, Andy Cannon. And remember, that game could have gone either way. Take a look. Yeah, Andy Cannon turns up, impact player. He's done that same thing again and again over time. He's a very, very valuable squad player. Not always the first choice on the team, but what's a valuable squad player, and he gives you effort. We're talking about effort. Yeah, Ollie Rathbone is Mr. E, Mr. Effort, but Andy Cannon gives you effort too, yes? I love this guy. I love a lot about this squad. And the recent additions have made us stronger up front. So let's take a look at the head-to-head between Northampton and Wrexham AFC right now. And to another part of the show which everybody seems to enjoy, the head-to-head. Like I say each week, you got 3 questions to ask yourself. Number 1, how many times has Northampton won all time? There you go. How many draws have we had all time? 8. You know, in the last few head-to-heads, there's been quite a few times where the draw number has been 8. The final question on this one, though, is has Wrexham won more than 11, or have they lost more than 11? What are you thinking? Have they lost or won? They've won 16. There you go. Now, let's look at, historically, the head-to-head. It all started October 1960. The first win, 1960. The first loss, the worst day, 8-0. The best day, 4-0. Now, let's take a look at the last 5, starting with 4 of those last 5. And we'll get to the bragging rights real soon. But there you go. There's more numbers. And the bragging rights go to Wrexham AFC since August 2024 with that 4-1 shellacking. Take a look at the stats. Take a look at the highlights from that match. So there's the head-to-head. Wrexham's bossing this one. Now take a look at the stats from the last time Wrexham played Northampton at the Stockade Ass. Hands down, a great game. So there you go, 4-1 on the day last time out, and look at the shot clock, 15, 8 on target, 14, 6 on target for Northampton, 60 to 40% on the possession. This match was tougher than it looks, and it all changed as soon as Jack Marriott got that second goal. So there you go. You've seen the stats. Now take a look at the highlights from that very same match. Enjoy. I'll be right back. So there you go. Highlights 4-1 on the day. It was a tighter match than the scoreline would say. And you who watched it know exactly what I'm saying. Up until Jack Marriott gets the second goal, the game could have gone either way. Northampton were really playing a very good road game. And at times pushed us into a neutrality situation where we really didn't push them far enough, hard enough as the home team. They made life difficult. They're going to do it again. And recently, their best form of the season is right now. The last 10, 3 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses. Best form of the season. So take it from that. This could be a very tough game. Let's take a look at League One matches and the top 6. Don't forget, there's games coming Tuesday. If you didn't know, you're going to see right now. Let's go. Come on, take it with me. You'll enjoy it. So yes, let's take a look at the League One matches and the top 6. Focus, there are the games for this weekend. There's the standings and a few interesting stats down below. I say welcome to everybody worldwide, Wrexham fans and Northampton fans too, and everybody close to Wrexham as well. Top 6, looking at top 6 right now. Wrexham on the road, Northampton. It's going to be tough. Huddersfield on the road, Barnsley, definitely going to be tough. Huddersfield are in desperately bad form. Birmingham, Charlton. I got to say, Birmingham will work hard to get 3 points. Charlton, not going so bad. Wycombe on the road at Crawley. Expect Wycombe to grab 3 points. And finally, Stockport taking on Wigan. Stockport reinventing themselves back into 4th spot. Were out of the top 6 for quite some time, but are looking impressive now. Let's take a look at Tuesday's matches. There are the matches for Tuesday. Top 6 matches, take a look. Huddersfield on the road at Shrewsbury, and also Wrexham at home to Leighton, and Wycombe at home to Bristol Rovers. Remember guys, please like and subscribe, help this channel grow. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much. Dankeschön. Well, you know, after a 90-minute plus battle at Sixfield Stadium, I see a really tough match, and it could be a goal fest, but this is really what I'm thinking. So, my friend, there we are, Sixfield Stadium. I see a battle coming off, and I see a tight match. Well, I see a really tight match coming off. If Northampton get a win, and that'll be 3 wins on the bounce, I see a 1-0. Likely to be a 1-1, and that would be a decent result for both teams, considering the play and the form of both. However, Wrexham, in my mind, are good for the 1-0 win, and if all goes well, I'm going for 1+, so it could be 2 or 3. But in my books, Wrexham is better off by 1 goal on this game. I'm calling for the 1-0. So there you go. I'm thinking 1-0. If it goes well and Wrexham show up, and Smithy and Rodriguez, they show up, maybe you see Ryan Longman get some time. I like him too. All these 3 new guys that we just picked up have put quality on the front line. I was really looking for maybe a playmaker in the middle, but you know what? I'll forego that with that creativity and finishing power. Now we need to use it, yeah? But I want you to think about something other than the 1-0 prediction. The next 17 matches, put this one aside, Northampton. Hopefully we get a result here. But the next 8 games up until Stockport County, okay? That's what I'm saying right now. From now to Stockport County, if we stay within reach of Wycombe, because we're not catching Birmingham. That is not happening. That is so not happening. I mean, they are streets ahead of everybody else. They're going to win it. They might even set a record for the title. Let's see what happens. But the remaining games, and remember, down at the bottom, that game has to be rescheduled, yeah? But those last 8 games present Wrexham with absolute chance of a good finish to the season. So what I'm saying is, the next 8 games, if we stay in contention with Wycombe, because they're looking like they're owning second spot for my money, but if we stay in contention with Wycombe, those last 8 games could be absolutely clinical in having a chance at getting second spot. Apart from that, we're setting ourselves up for the playoffs very nicely. So off the back of 2 promotions, even the chance and the sniff of getting into a promotion as a playoff team, yes, and we talked about this at the beginning of the season. I said 3 or 4 was what I'm looking at for a magical finish. 4 to 5 would be excellent. Don't smash the mic, Steve. We're on par for exactly that. We'll take a look as we drift off, because coming up next is my big yap and what I'm seeing coming down for the final phase. But yeah, then final 8 matches. Think about that, Wrexham fans. Think about that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Again, just something to think about. If we can stay close to Wycombe, those last 8 games could really turn out to be very fruitious, if not just for the playoffs. Now, get into the game talk. Got some stuff to show you. In the last 5 games, 15 points. The top 6 teams in the last 5 games, how many points have they taken? I'm going to tell you. Birmingham's taken 13 points. Wrexham has taken 7. Wycombe has taken 8. Stockport has taken 13. Yes, re-emerging Stockport. Charlton chasing have got 13 as well. And Orient have taken 10. So in the top 6, Wrexham has had teams gain on them pretty quick. But here's the deal. The last 6 games, 3 losses, sure. But even with those losses, Wrexham's still sitting strong in 3rd with games in hand on teams trying to catch them. And teams that are level on games are waypoints behind, at least 6 minimum. So when you look at the situation, things are looking damn good for Wrexham as we move, yeah? And looking from now to those last 8 games, stay with me on that one. Watch those last 8 games get closer. And if we're still in contention, fella, I tell you now, it could be bloody interesting. Now, home form. You haven't heard me say too much, but you're talking about Northampton Town. Home form, 5-3-5, 14 scored, 18 against for -4. Wrexham's road form is very similar, yeah? 4 wins, 4 draws, 5 losses, 12 goals scored, 13 against for -1. Not too bad. Now, earlier in the show, you saw that disastrous 8-0 back in the head-to-head. Well, here's some more little stats for you that I've drawn together that I think you'd love to know, yeah? Just a couple of little tidbits before we close this down, but that was not the worst ever defeat for Wrexham. And I know people like Phil West and Stevie Glover, you know, Grizzly, Phil, PJ, there's going to be a few people out there that know the biggest loss for Wrexham. But if you're a worldwide Wrexham fan, you might not, but you're about to find out. So that 8-0 loss against Northampton is not the biggest loss ever. No. And that was a bad loss, to say the least. But the worst ever was higher, obviously. That was 9-0 against Brentford, and that was in League Division 3, October the 15th, 1963. So there you go. You learn something every day. Biggest ever cup win was 6-0 against Charlton Athletic, and that was the FA Cup, 1980. And here's something just to finish off before we start talking more on the game. Most games won in a row was 10 games. 10 wins back-to-back. Yeah? And I'm just going to double-check this so I got this right, because I've wrote it down. Most games won in a row, back-to-back. It wasn't in the National League per se. It wasn't in our resurgence coming back up, so the last couple of years where we were banging in goals for nothing. It wasn't that either. It was 2002, 2003 season. Yes. Yeah. 22 years ago. Banging in the goals. Bang, 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 bang. By the way, Paulie Mullin, there's a lot of rumours out there about, we better shape up, or maybe he gets to ship out. Who knows? Who knows? But that's the kind of guy you give time. He's done a lot of soldiering for this club, so you don't put that good man down. So don't listen to too many rumours. If it is going to be that way, we'll find out soon enough. But my take is he deserves a bit more respect than what some people are outing or sputtering on the internet. As for the game, I've got to tell you, I'm looking for a big one. I think that I don't go into this game without any worry. I think that Rotherham is capable, but their last 10 games, the form they're showing, the unity, best form of the season they've had, I think there's a chance that they can push us all away and maybe upset us. On the other side of the equation, Sam Smith, Rodriguez, Longman, they've had some time now with this team. I like what I'm seeing with Longman. Rodriguez has been getting into really good places, but hasn't been fed the ball. Feed him the ball, he'll finish, right? Sam Smith, likewise. He hasn't really got that situation right, but he holds the ball well, leads the line well, and he's got more skill than, you say, the likes of Ollie Palmer. Not putting Ollie down, but he leads the line well. If we need two big, strong guys, we've got it. You even put Stevie Fletcher in the mix, man, so you can change one of the big guys out at halftime or later in the game. So if we need to pin a defence hard on their own box with two strong guys who can head it and slam it, we got options. Rodriguez is a different kind, Longman different kind. And no, I don't agree Longman is in to replace Ryan Barnett. I don't agree with that unless there's a massive bloody deal behind the scenes. But I wouldn't sell Ryan for nothing. That beautiful right foot, curling those crosses in, Mr. Assist of the league. No, you don't get rid of that. You don't get rid of that. Not at all. We've had a lot of games where we had to work for it all season long. This one will be a slugfest. It's going to be a battle. Sixfield, not the biggest place in the world. It's going to have a great atmosphere. And all the Red Dragons fans will be singing their guts out, as will the Cobblers. But I expect another fantastic game. I hope you do too. And remember, please pass this show to as many as you can. Let's get ready for kickoff. And don't forget, Tuesday's coming fast, but one game at a time. Let's stay in contention with Wycombe, get to those last 8 games, and who knows, it might be 3 promotions back to back. But we're setting ourselves up absolutely fantastic. So tip your freaking hat to Phil Parkinson and the team and the ownership for doshing out the cash to get the big guns up front that are hopefully going to make the distance and the difference in the next 17 games, especially this one. Northampton, Wrexham, Sixfield Stadium. Let's have it. Cheers.